Who were you before you lost your wild self?
That's what we're helping you explore on the Tend Her Wild podcast.
Through questions and tools around how best to listen to your inner voice,
rewild ourselves, and live the most authentic life where we thrive instead of survive.
I'm Betsy.
And I'm Kate.
And we're so glad you've joined us for this episode.
Hello, Tend Her Wild podcast listeners. Today it is just Betsy and I. And with all the chaos of the world and the heaviness, we decided to do a little bit lighter of an episode. But also, I think it's going to be a powerful one. And we got the idea from a listener who asked us to share our favorite quotes.
Yeah.
Which we're like, oh, that's so interesting.
I had so much fun this week.
I did too.
Figuring out which quotes do I want to share.
Yeah, me too.
Except Kate came in with 19. I was like, 19, Kate?
She made me cut my list. But that's
so we're each going to share 11, which is a total of 22, which we also think is a good magical number.
Right.
So.
And we're on a couch today, so we're trying something a little new.
Yeah, we're being more relaxed in the midst of life.
Right.
All right, Kate, what's your first quote that speaks to you? And are these I'm curious, are these long-term favorite quotes or are these more like recent? These are things that have just kind of come across for you lately.
I would say it's a mix. Some of them, they're from different points in my life probably, but they're ones that I go back to often. Several of them are in my house. So I see
hanging on your wall.
Yes, because that's how important they are to me.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah. All right. So my first one is, the women I love and admire for their strength and grace did not get that way because shit worked out. They got that way because shit went wrong and they handled it. They handled it in 1,000 different ways on 1,000 different days, but they handled it. These women are my superheroes. By Elizabeth Gilbert. And when I read this, there was something I just felt better reading it. I'm like, that's true.
Yeah.
And I think it's the women we can be the most real with.
Yeah.
It reminds me.
Yeah. The ones that are willing to admit that shit doesn't work out.
Right. Yeah. Instead of pretending they have everything together and that everything's going right. Because we know there's times in our lives when it doesn't. So it just feels like a very honest.
I find also, people are much more interesting when they're willing to talk about the shit that didn't go right in their lives.
Yeah.
I really appreciate, being able to hear just human stories, like the humanity of life. How you couldn't hold your shit together all the time.
Right. And I don't know that we're supposed to, actually.
I don't think we can.
No.
We can give the illusion that we are, but it's certainly not possible.
All right. What do you got?
Okay. The more scared we are of a work or calling, the more sure we can be that we have to do it. Resistance is experienced as fear. The degree of fear equates to the strength of resistance. Therefore, the more fear we feel about a specific enterprise, the more certain we can be that enterprise is important to us and to the growth of our soul. That's Stephen Pressfield from the book, The War of Art. And so this one has been big for me for many years after I read this book. I just have realized that when resistance shows up for me now, I relate to it differently. I relate to like, oh, I'm so resistant to this. That means it's going to really be something my soul needs to grow and to evolve. So now the more resistant I am, the more I listen versus seeing resistance as a signal that I shouldn't do this. This is get away from this.
Right.
So I just have a whole different relationship to resistance now. And so I see it as a good sign now rather than something to run from.
Yeah. It's information. It's big information.
Yeah.
It's like a big light that's blinking that you have to pay attention to.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can even see in my own life now the things I'm most resistant to. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to go towards that.
Yeah.
I really have to move towards that. It's scaring me, but that there's something my soul needs from that experience.
Yeah.
So,
oh, I love that one.
mm-hmm.
All right. My next one's very short, but has come back and back to me for years. From Rumi, the wound is the place where the light enters you.
Yeah.
So simple, but also so profound, I think. And I will just share with you that in my work now, as I'm coaching people and women primarily, I see how the wound opens up their creativity and their light and it's almost like I just see it in over and over again, that is when the light comes in.
Yeah.
And if you're open to it and want to move forward, it's beautiful. So I've been paying closer attention to that too with clients.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I've loved that quote for a very long time too.
Yeah. I probably heard it first from you.
Oh, who knows? I just think it's such a powerful reminder that it's not our wounds aren't a problem. They don't happen to us. They happen for us is how I always think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. This next one, I actually found, I was looking through a journal from the last year and I'd written this down from a book I was reading. And the book is by Dolores Cannon. It's called The Convoluted Universe. And it feels like it's a message for this time in the world and probably this time in my life. Love is the most powerful force in the world. If people tell you that the opposite of love is fear, it is not so. Love just is. Love has no opposite. It's the answer to everything, everything. Where there's disharmony, wherever there's pain, wherever there's hunger, wherever there's sorrow, just send love. Not only to humanity, but to all of life, to the rivers, the oceans, the forest, to the animals, the birds, the bees, the air that you breathe, to the whole cosmos, because you are part of the one. We are all part of the one. There is no separation.
Wow. That is perfect for right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you often hear fear is the opposite of love, and everything that we're seeing, it's all coming from fear, fear, fear. And I don't think that's completely untrue, but the idea that love is the opposite, I love this idea. No, it's not. Love is just everything. It is. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't even compare love and fear. They're completely different. They're not opposed to one another. And then the other piece that really speaks to me is just send love, because that's actually one simple thing we can all do. We can just keep sending love. You think about someone, you send love. You think about what's going hard in the world, you send love. You just keep extending love. That is, that, like it says, that's the answer to everything.
And that right now is the vibrational change that I think we need to embrace.
Yeah.
Is love's vibration by all of us taking those steps daily and finding ways to do it in small ways that, magnifies it out. So that's beautiful. I've never heard that.
I know. It was something that I read in the last year and I wrote it down. So thank you, Journal, for keeping that in a safe place for me to be reminded of.
Yeah. Okay. My next one's for these times we're living in too. Again, a very short, simple one, but let your heart break so your spirit doesn't. And I have felt so much pain in my heart with everything happening. We all have in some way. But I refuse to kind of allow my spirit or the belief and the faith in what's possible and in humanity and in love and in goodness to break. So I need to, I think I'm not sure my heart breaks as much as I feel things in my heart.
Yeah.
And I allow myself to feel the grief and whatever feelings in my heart I need to feel. But then I'm also staying very solid in my spirit and making sure that does not break during these times.
Yeah.
So, and that's from Andrea Gibson, who just passed away from cancer. And she has a Netflix documentary with all of her poetry and kind of the end of her life and how, and I used to watch her videos when she was going through the final years of her life. And she put so much beauty and poetry out into the world during a very painful time. So I'm sure her heart was hurting, but she allowed her spirit to come through until the very end.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And I agree. Our spirit gets very muted if we're not allowing our heart to break and allowing ourselves to feel the grief and the sadness and the anger and the rage. We just numb it all out, and then it kind of breaks our spirit.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. Okay. This is from a book that I discovered in my 20s. And I also remember taking quotes from it and writing it into my journal. And it's a book, it's a well-known book, Letters to a Young Poet by Rainier Maria Rilke.
Okay.
Perhaps all the dragons in our lives are princesses who are only waiting to see us act just once with beauty and courage. Perhaps everything that frightens us is, in its deepest essence, something helpless that wants our love. So, I'm reflecting on when I first read Rilke in my 20s. And I was, tenderly trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted to do in the world. And probably was still aligning with this idea of the princess who was waiting to be rescued somehow. And I love this, that the dragons in our lives are princesses who are only waiting to see us act with beauty and courage. They're wanting to be loved. And so this quote to me just speaks of all the parts of us that we are scared to look at or be with or feel, and that they're not something to be frightened of, but there's something for us to love. So it's been a big part of my own therapeutic process in the last couple of years, is really just working to love all the parts of myself, and especially the messy parts and the ugly parts and the wounded parts and the scared parts and the younger parts. Exactly.
I didn't know what a lot yet. And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It makes you less afraid of those. Allowing yourself to just have them be all part of you.
And kind of goes back with some of our theme, our through line of just love. Like, can you, even the ugly parts of yourself, how do we actually really love and see? Because there are parts of us, as this quote says, that are quite helpless.
Yeah.
They're young, they're wounded parts, and they just need our love.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking of a quote that I did not write down, but I remember.
Can you pull it out? It's memory.
It's in my head. Like, be the woman that your younger self would have run to.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, I feel like that's part of the midlife work and awakening is looking at all those parts of your life and the pieces of you that weren't fully formed and we're just learning, and we're all still learning, but it's embracing them, like you said, instead of being afraid of them.
Yeah.
Or upset with them.
Yeah.
Okay. So my next one was from my 20s too. And when I was introduced to Maya Angelou, and I had the opportunity to hear her live speak about 15 years ago when she came to town. And I know you'll know this one, but people will forget what you said. People will forget what you do, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
Yeah.
And
Maya.
So much wisdom that she had. And
here we're talking about embracing our wounds. I mean, her story, she had so much abuse and wounds. And out of that, she learned to love herself, and then helped so many other women learn to love themselves. I mean, talk about how when we're willing to embrace our wounds, makes us stronger. She's a perfect example of that.
Yeah, she really is.
Well, we keep this one, we'll tie in perfectly.
Okay.
This is by Marion Woodman, who is a Jungian analyst, or was a Jungian analyst. She's passed now, but she wrote, actually, you just gave me a book that was co-authored by her.
I was like, I just heard her.
Yeah.
I did.
So I have many of her books on my shelf. But one of her books is about perfectionism. And this quote is, "To strive for perfection is to kill love, because perfection does not recognize humanity." So you and I have often talked about our perfectionism and being in recovery for it. And I still feel it, just like when you're in recovery from anything, it still pops up. You still watch it come in. The need for control, the need for everything to be right, for the house to be perfectly clean, to have answered every email and figured out everything before you get in bed at night, you know, like
the to-do list. Yeah.
But it kills love. The striving for perfection kills love. I mean, and clearly it kills love for ourselves, but kills love for the world and for other people's imperfection.
And it doesn't allow us to see humanity, right?
It does not recognize humanity. We don't get to see humanity. And this quote, I'm realizing the reason it jumped out at me this morning as I was preparing for today is just yesterday I was with my son who's in college, and I went and spent some time with him, and he is struggling with his own form of perfectionism right now and wanting to get the perfect grades and figure out the right path and have it all laid out. And I just said to him, I'm like, buddy, you know, life is messy. I need you to know no one's got it figured out.
Right.
I don't have it figured out. There's not really any human being on this earth who's got it all figured out. Like, life is really messy, and everything we try to do to control it and make it fit into these perfect boxes, it's
not possible.
It's not possible. And so I see perfectionism in myself, and I see it in him, and just wanting to really give him, I've said to him, it's okay to mess up. In fact, I encourage you to mess up. Yeah. I'm like, it's okay. Like, it's so human.
Yeah. I remember when they each first got their first B, some earlier than others, but I was like, thank God. Like, it kind of allowed them to relax more and realize the world did not end.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the hard part about grades. It's not about growth. It's about, a letter. And so I think that's changing somewhat, but I do think when we're perfectionists, I feel like that's probably a trait that gets carried on a little bit.
Sure.
I mean,
they learn it by osmosis.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm constantly having this conversation actually with my daughter about, even now that she's in the working world, and, you're just human. You're just human. And every time we fail, it's actually a way to learn, and something good always comes out of it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's tough when you see your kids kind of battling.
Failing at times. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to have a few from, who my favorite poet is.
Yes, I do. Yeah. Cleo Wade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, how to do the thing you are afraid to do. Grab fears by the hand, grab hope by the hand, and start walking. So I've had a big aha in the last few years about fear. And I've even done a program around it. And fear is not something that we should avoid. It's something that we need to carry right along with us. Because I think we often feel that successful people, or people that are ahead of us in life, are somehow fearless.
Yeah.
And they're not. They're just as afraid. They're just doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And so getting comfortable with your fear and being one with your fear, I think for me has been a huge aha. Like, it's not something I need to overcome or that I need to make disappear. It just needs to be part of my everyday. And I can recognize it. And then I can grab hope too and say,
Yeah.
all right, we're going, we're moving.
Yeah.
So I love that one.
All right. So if Cleo Wade is your favorite poet, who's the person that I quote all the time on this podcast, Kate?
Carl Jung.
How did you know?
Carl and Cleo, if you're listening.
Carl and Cleo, if you're listening. We got the masculine and the feminine.
That's right. It's kind of true, isn't it?
Yeah. Carl's been dead a long time.
I know, but he might still be listening.
Yeah. Oh, which one to choose? I have two here. Okay, I'm going to choose this one.
Okay.
Nothing has as strong an influence psychologically on your environment and especially on your children than the unlived life of the parent.
Yeah.
All right. So, gosh, I've lived and felt into this one for a long time. And I think there's so many ways that you can think about this. But when we as parents aren't fully living into our bodies, into our fullness, into our talents, into our desires, into our sense of self, into our freedom, into our wildness, you name it, when we're sort of holding ourselves back, often on account of trying to be a good parent or do it right for our children or follow the right path, we're actually influencing them so deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, the message has been go out there and live your life in the most authentic way, Betsy, because that will be the greatest gift to your children, even if on the surface it looks like it's not.
Right. Because it grants them permission to do the same.
Yes. I mean, so this divorce that I've gone through has been huge for me because I think for years I felt like, my kids, I want to make sure my kids are okay. But I was compressing myself into such a box that wasn't fully authentic or truthful to me. And so how do I not know that that was harming them more than me sort of following what I knew I needed to, what my soul was really aching for me to do.
Yeah.
So it's been a really powerful quote for me and continues to guide me about like, are you living your lived life? Are you doing what you're here to do? Or are there parts of you that are being repressed or shut down? And your kids notice it, feel it, even if they can't articulate it.
Perceptive. Yeah, they do. And I think deep down, I mean, I think about, I'm still a child of, my parents, and I'm watching my parents struggle with health issues right now. And I want what's best for them as a child. And I think even when you're little, you, because we look up to our parents, we want the best for them too. And even if they can't articulate it, in later years, they will understand that was necessary. And again, it does grant them permission to fully live their lives.
Exactly. Which is also probably why as adults we should mess up too, because it gives our children permission to realize they don't have to be perfect and they can mess up as well. They can be human as well.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to model those things. Okay. This one is up in my house, outside my kids' bedrooms on purpose. And it's again from Cleo Wade, but I bought it when I met her and she came to town and she had some prints, which I don't even know if she does anymore, but I bought the biggest one I could because when I read it, I was like, that is what I need my kids, because I was working through that to know. And it says very simply, of course, I've changed, darling. I've grown. And so again, permission to change and to take steps forward and then backward and go to the left and go to the right. Like it's all growth. And I wanted to normalize change and growth. So it hangs outside their doors and they all know it very well.
It's powerful. I'm also thinking about how you have two boys. And it's interesting because as I've been studying masculine energy, feminine energy, masculine energy prefers stability and structure, whereas the feminine is much more of a change agent and flow and trying new things. And Yeah. So it also is making me think about how we raise our boys to also believe like change is natural. It's okay. It's inevitable. We're all growing. Because there's something about the status quo feels safe.
Yep.
I mean, what do they say? Here's another quote that's coming in for me. Let's see if I can get it correct now. Something about comfort zone. You can be in your comfort zone, and yet there's no growth there.
Right.
Like
Growth comes in the comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah. Feels really comfortable here. I can
no growth.
No growth
happens
in a comfort zone.
You have to get out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's really true, I think. And I'm thinking about even conversations I have with my boys about that. They're a little more like, this is what I studied. This is what I'm doing. I need to stay. And I'm like, are you happy?
Mm-hmm.
Is it right anymore? It's okay if it's not.
Yeah.
And giving, I think, permission to the masculine.
Yeah. And our masculine parts to be like,
yes,
it's okay to change. Mm-hmm. Change is inevitable. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to stay with the wise Jungian psychologist because clearly I'm on my third one.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Okay. So this is a quote by James Hillman, and he also is considered a Jungian psychologist. And I'm not sure if he's still living. I think he is. But I really relate to this one too. Aging is no accident. It is necessary to the human condition, intended by the soul. We become more characteristic of who we are simply by lasting into later years. The older we become, the more our true natures emerge. Thus, the final years have a very important purpose: the fulfillment and confirmation of one's character.
Oh, that's beautiful. I kind of needed to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've thought a lot about it. I've always
Have you been afraid to get old? Like, do you feel like aging for you?
There are definitely aspects of aging that I'm resisting.
Yeah.
But I do believe, and I've long felt this, that you do become more of who you are as you age. So that means if we haven't dealt with our stuff, we become more hardened and shut down and critical and judgmental and scared. Or we have the potential to actually settle more into our natural essence, which I believe for all of us is expansive and loving and joyful. And can't you see those people? Mm-hmm. Like you can see older people that just are bitter and angry. And you can see older people that are joyful and free. And even though their bodies ache, they are living life. Like I had a teacher, Mrs. Hinga, and she lived well into her hundreds. She was my kindergarten teacher. And near the end of her life, there was this news special on her because she was growing butterflies. Like she had like the little pods in her room and jars. And she was like all these monarch butterflies. And then she would go outside of the care center where she lived and release the butterflies. I mean, this woman is in her hundreds and she is like vibrant and alive.
Wow.
And so again, I think we become more of who we are.
Yeah.
Which to me is also more motivation to keep clearing out the parts of me that really aren't me, so that as I age, I actually am settling more into my divine essence than settling into like a contracted, angry, bitter part.
And someone who's afraid of their own mortality. So I think I was watching Jane Fonda recently, and you know, she's kind of grappling with that right now. She's always been so vibrant, but she continues to be. But thinking about, how do I want to show up in that chapter of my life?
Yeah.
And looking around at others and like your teacher, right? What a model that was of like, making an impact to the very end. Yeah. Because I'm so vibrant and I know myself. And so that's such a great one to think about.
Yeah.
All right. So this one, well, I'll do this one. Pema, who we both love, and I have read her books. They sit on my desk. You are the sky. Everything else is the weather.
That's on my list too.
Is it?
You just said to me, you're like,
knew we
I
would-
wonder if we're going to have one that's the same. And that
That's the
one
one.
is on my list as well.
I love it.
Yeah, you're the sky, everything else is the weather. That one helps me so much. In fact, every time I look up at a blue sky, I think of that one. It's like we are so vast and we are so big, like bigger than we can even imagine.
Yeah.
And then we get caught up in these little weather patterns that come through of fear, anger, grief, or whatever it is. And we forget that, like, oh, this is just weather. It'll go away.
Well, and I mean, the times we're living in too, feel like it's stormy. There's a lot of weather.
Mm-hmm.
And remembering we're the sky and how are we expanding even in the face of the weather.
And I think of that quote so often when I'm on an airplane at the window seat and you're in the bad weather and you pop above those clouds and then it's just blue sky everywhere. And it's like, oh yeah, that's who we are. Oh, that's who we are.
That's always there.
Yeah.
It's always
there, no matter how crappy it is on the ground.
But it's the only time you really get to see, fully. And so that is a great analogy.
Yeah. I love it.
All right.
Okay. All right. So this one is actually quite deep. And I learned it at a meditation retreat. The teacher there spoke these words and said it was from the Talmud. And I didn't actually even know what is the Talmud. And it's actually, it's one of the Jewish texts. So clearly I'm not Jewish. I didn't know it. But this still speaks to me so deeply. And I remember writing it down and being like, I think this is what I'm living into right now. So it goes like this. If I'm not for myself, who will be for me? And if I'm only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when?
Ooh.
Yeah. So that first part, if I'm not for myself, who will be? I just think that speaks into, like, if we are not our own best ally, if we're not taking care of ourselves, if we're not loving and listening to ourselves, who's going to do that for us?
No one else is going to do that for us. No.
But then the next line, and if I'm only for myself, what am I? So we can also get so focused just on ourselves and our needs without reaching out to anyone else. Then what does that say about us?
Right.
So there's that narcissism piece.
Mm-hmm.
We can just get so self-focused. And then if not now, when? And I think that speaks to also our theme for this year of, like, no more playing small. And maybe again, it's this path of the wild woman we've been on, or the times, this year of the wild fire horse, like, it's sort of like I have been feeling this in myself. If not now, when?
Right.
Like, life is precious. Life is short. There is an end point for all of us. There's certain things I still want to do. Why am I not doing them?
Right.
Why am I holding back? Why do I have excuses? So I just think that it speaks to everything. Like, yes, care for yourself, take care of yourself. If you're not doing that, no one else will. But if you get too focused on yourself, then who does that say you are?
Right. Have purpose and impact. Yes.
Yeah. And then if you're not doing it now, when are you going to do it? So there's just a lot packed into
there
that.
is. There's three little lines.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Okay. So my next one is hanging by my door.
Well, you really did just walk around your house.
Well, I did, because they're so, I think because they're so visible to me, they are imprinted in me.
Yeah, that's good.
And this one I've had there, it's so I see it when I come in and out. And I probably have had it for 20 years. My mom gave it to me. We were shopping together. And I remember thinking at the time, I was like, oh, I shouldn't buy that. And my mom's like, I'm getting that for you. She saw my
that's beautiful.
leaning into it.
Okay, I love that.
So I don't know if you know this about me, but I have always been an Audrey Hepburn. And so I have a couple of hers, but this one is the best thing to hold on to. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. And yeah, for me, I mean, it's again kind of like been our family thing that's always right there by the door. It's a little reminder going in and out, no matter what's happening out in the world. Like, we all
hold on to
each other. Yeah. And yeah, and even with
I see why that one really speaks to you, because I also experience you as such a loyal, like there's so much loyalty in your bones and your blood, and that idea of like, let's just hang together. That's a really strong
part of me.
Energy in you.
Yeah. Loyalty is always a strong.
Yeah.
Comes out in every assessment I ever do.
Yeah. Okay. This one is on the back of a book here.
Yeah.
You've heard this one, but it's really powerful. This is Brianna West. And she's written a lot of cool poetry and powerful books in this last decade.
I give her book names out.
I know. It's really amazing. Okay. And this one clearly speaks to what I've been going through in the last year. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you your comfort zone and your sense of direction. It's going to cost you relationships and friends. It's going to cost you being liked and understood. But that doesn't matter, because the people who are meant for you are going to meet you on the other side. And you're going to build a new comfort zone around the things that actually move you forward. And instead of being liked, you're going to be loved. And instead of understood, you're going to be seen. All you're going to lose is what was built for a person you no longer are. Let it go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's your journey right now.
And that's really was my journey. Yeah. I'm still building a new comfort zone, but already watching that. I think the letting go was so painful and so long and so drawn out. And there's a lot of comfort that went away, and friendships and relationships and so much. And yet feeling in a new comfort zone, when you get to build your own comfort zone, and you get to build your own space, then you really do attract in what's resonating with you instead of the old life.
And the connections are deeper.
Yeah. Like it said, instead of being liked, you get to be loved. And instead of being understood, you get to be seen.
Yeah.
So it's been a powerful one for me, but so much easier said than done, just to be like, just let it go. Just let it go. I mean, for anyone out there listening, it's not an easy, short process. And there's lots of, it's messy. It's messy. It's very messy.
It is very messy. That's very honest and true. Yeah. And yet, I see you now kind of embracing this new life and creating it. Yeah. And you're creating it for yourself.
Yeah.
Which is actually lovely to watch.
Thank you.
Okay. This one's just this one is my, I guess, lighter side coming out. And I'm wearing this color for a reason.
Pink.
I believe
in pink today
called I Believe in Pink. I believe in pink. I believe that laughing is the best calorie burner. I believe in kissing a lot. I believe in being strong when everything seems to be going wrong. I believe that happy girls are the prettiest girls. I believe that tomorrow is another day. And I believe in miracles. And this one for me is...
Who is that by?
That's Audrey Hepburn as well.
Oh, that's Audrey Hepburn too. Yeah. Gosh, you do love Audrey.
I do love Audrey. I always have. I've watched all the movies. I read, kind of her biographies. And I feel like this one is just a reminder of sometimes I take everything so seriously. And
so do I get that.
Yeah. And it's kind of the one that makes me feel lighter, and that maybe the simple things are the best things, and to enjoy those little moments, and being very present and in life. And so, I love that, how it captures just kind of this lightness of being.
The line that stood out to me is the prettiest girls are the happiest girls. I thought that's so interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like that, also there's so many ways to define beauty, but there is something about a joyful person is very, it attracts our awareness, our attention.
Yeah.
And not that I believe happiness is a lasting space, but there is something about cultivating and practicing more joy and more lightness and laughter. And
yeah. And focusing on the things that bring us, I think if you focus on the things that bring you joy,
yeah,
you are
Yeah.
attractive to other people
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
see you embracing joy. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Okay, this is my last one, but I think this one, again, fits in really well with our theme for this year of No More Playing Small and the Wild Woman. Okay, so this is from a book called The She Book by Tanya Merkel. I read this book maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
You gave it to me.
I can see myself. It was a rainy Sunday. I'd ordered this book, or I bought this book somewhere, and I was in, sort of this dark, slow death of my marriage. I remember cuddling in the corner of the couch on that Sunday and reading this book from the She Book from start to finish and being so moved by it that I actually emailed the author in that moment, because I've never emailed an author, but I was like, oh my God, this book, it just, and then I got on Amazon and I ordered like 12 copies and I sent them to 12 different friends. You were one of them.
I know.
And it's funny, I don't know if I even heard from all 12 friends, but I just felt like, you need this book.
Yeah.
You need this book. And it's like, it's a bunch of poems. And I have so many dog ears in this book, but this is the one. Yeah, so many. But this is the one that I want to share today. She knows that she'll get her butt kicked if she chooses aliveness. Her light will blind others. Her darkness will not let her fit in. Her success will provoke conflict. Her ways of healing will be judged. Her enemies will want her to cower. And fear will do its best to take her down. So she draws a circle around herself and keeps opening up. Because aliveness is freedom. She's embracing the risk to bypass the ordinary. And she's exactly what the world needs right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
all my fears right there.
Yeah.
Choose aliveness, you're going to get your butt kicked.
But she'll be
if you're too light, you're going to blind others, right? All of it. But if you decide to do all of that anyway and put a circle around yourself, you start to feel more freedom.
Yeah, that's where the liberation is.
And that's what the world needs.
Yeah.
So
it is what the world needs. I feel that so strongly right now for women. Yeah. It's that whole idea. And this was one of my 17. It was the old, be the change you wish to see in the world. And stepping into more aliveness.
More aliveness, even when it's scary.
Even if you blind people.
Okay. Do you have an extra bonus one, Kate? Because Kate overachieved and brought 17 today. Well, so give us one final
one
shot of.
Yeah. And this one won't shock you either, but this, I think, has a lot to do with my own journey back to my feminine and the journey we've had on this podcast, both of us. And it's just simply strong back,
soft front, wild heart. And
when those three are...
That's Brene Brown. But it's actually
Joan
Halifax. Yeah. She's a rishi, like a Buddhist teacher, I think. Yeah. And Brene added the wild heart.
I think she did. Yeah.
So let's say it again. Strong back, soft front, wild heart. Yeah. That is kind of the mantra for this podcast and sort of for how I want to live my life. Yeah.
This was really fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, you easily came up with 18. I think we're going to have to do this again in a couple of months and keep adding to it.
Yeah. It's words are powerful and they wake you up. So thank you, Ren.
Thank you, Ren, for suggesting we do this, and we'll do it again.
We will.
All right. Thanks, Kate.
Betsy.
Thanks for joining us today. If you like this podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review. Come back and rewild with us again next week.